What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how wide receivers can run more explosive routes. So I hope this video helps you guys out, and I hope it can teach you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you guys would like to learn how you can improve your recovery after your workouts, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get information on some supplements to help you recover faster from A&G Labs. What you could look at is their A&G Labs BCAA recovery product and our whey protein product from them. So what both of these products will do will help you recover faster. Oftentimes athletes after workouts, they've had multiple workouts in a day, whether it's weights and then they're coming to the field and they don't take their recovery seriously. The BCAA powder and the protein powder will both help you guys repair those broken down muscle fibers in your body and help you be able to come back the next day and give maximum effort. So if you guys want some more information on that, check out that very first link in the description below. Use promo code FIRST15 at checkout for 15% off your first order. Let's get started with this video. So now, first things first, we're looking at this whip route here from Xavier Worthy. So when you guys are running routes, to run explosive routes, you want to think of your routes like you're running a 40-yard dash. So what does that exactly mean? So when you're running a 40-yard dash, for those of you that don't know, that first 5 to 10 yards of the 40-yard dash, they call that the drive phase, right? So I'm in the drive phase. I'm trying to be as explosive as possible. So for the last 30 yards of the 40-yard dash, I'm hitting top speed and I can have a good time. So when you're running a route, that's how you want to think of the break point. So when you're breaking into this route, this is a whip route, right? You are trying to be as explosive as possible with your movements. You're trying to be as powerful. You were trying to get low. You were trying to shoot your feet into the grass because that will generate power and that will generate explosion. Kind of like what you want to do on the first 5 yards of the 40-yard dash. On the 40-yard dash, how many times have you heard a speed coach say, oh, well, he popped up out of the blocks. Like he took off on his 40, he stood straight up in the air. He didn't get low. He didn't get in his drive phase. So we want to think of the top of the route when I'm trying to run an explosive route, I have to be into that drive phase. So if I'm dropping down on a whip route like so, I'm dropping down on a comeback route, a dig, anything where I got to drop my hips. I'm trying to drop my butt down and I'm trying to bring my chin to my knee. A phrase that helps my wide receivers a lot is saying that, oh, you want to sit in a chair, but you want to try to bring your chin to your knee. So sit in a chair, bring your chin to your knee, because now that's a low position to where you can generate some energy. I don't like saying the word like, oh, you want to slow down at the break or you want to decelerate. I say decelerate a lot, but honestly, you were trying to create energy at this break point. You were trying to be explosive so we can accelerate out of the route and get space from the DB. That is the name of the game, being able to accelerate out of the break point. So make sure, fellas, when I'm dropping into a break, I'm getting low with my hips, almost like I'm sitting in a chair. I'm trying to bring my chin to my knee. Think of it like you have a string attached to your chin and somebody is pulling that string straight down. And I'm trying to shoot my feet into the ground to create power so I can drive out of this break and get open. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time, and then we're going to be talking about a common mistake that wide receivers will make when they do this and when they're trying to get low. So we're looking at this route here from Makai Lemon, a high school wide receiver, highly ranked wide receiver too. I believe he's a 5-star guy, but at the break point, he gets low, but he does not stay low. So that's one of the things that some guys will screw up, which can make them lose explosion and lose separation on the routes. So he's doing something we call a diamond release, right? So a diamond release is when we have inside shade press. We take 3 steps to the outside on a 45-degree angle. His hips flip open and we slip back underneath. So when you do this diamond release, sometimes what guys will do is because, they sell it very well. He's running very hard. He's taking the right angle. Sometimes they'll drop their hips, which, you see NFL guys run it like this. I would prefer, if I were teaching this, to cut off of 1 foot. But if you cut off of 2 feet, that's totally fine. You just have to make sure that we have that explosion. So at the break point, look where he's at. He's dropping his butt down, chin to his knees, sitting in the chair. This is that explosive drive phase, if you will. But watch what happens when he comes out of this drive phase. He stands straight up in the air. And that causes us to lose explosion. If you guys want to run explosive routes, we don't have to just get low. I have to be able to stay low at my breaks. So when he drops down into this thing, instead of snapping down, getting your chin to your knee and then almost with your feet pushing up or standing up, you want to drive out. You want to take this foot. Like, let's say, for example, you snap down on the inside foot, your outside foot hits the ground. You want to push off of the foot in the direction that you are going. but so you can maintain that low explosive spot, because that's what will generate energy. And that energy can get you out of the break faster and widen the distance from the DB. We're going to be showing a good example of this here in a second, but make sure, fellas, when you guys drop into a break where you're not popping up, that is the best way to get stuck at the break point and not go anywhere, but also lose explosion because we are not driving out. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Again, great job by Lemon. He won this route. He got separation. I believe they called this a touchdown, but against maybe a little bit more discipline of a DB, he will be able to recover. Okay, so now we're looking at another five-star wide receiver here, Brandon Inniss. So he is also going to be running a slant route, but he does a great job. He kind of pops up off of the line, but at the break point, he is very low and he stays low. And I want you to see the difference in the explosion that he has out of the break. So let's play this full speed. So he does a slide, he's a move, but he stays low and he's able to drive off of his feet. Now, this wasn't exactly the same type of cut, right? It wasn't like he had to drop his hips. It wasn't like he was running a whip or a comeback where he had to change levels and bring his chin to his knee, but the same principles apply. It's just how your body works. When you're running a route, like let's say you're running just a basic post route and you get up to that break point, you're running full speed. If you stand up and you're like with your chest pointed straight up in the air and you try to cut, you're not going to have that much explosion. But if you have that kind of forward lean of your pad level and you try to cut, you're going to have plenty of explosion. So it's the same thing. The same principles apply when it comes to generating explosion and power. So when he goes into this break here, he makes this cut. Now he's in a very low explosive position. Now he cuts off of this outside foot. So like we were saying, he doesn't want to just push straight up and stand up because that's going to take extra time. He'll lose speed and the DB can recover. He throws this cut and watch what he does off of that. He's pushing off of it. He's pushing off of that cut and staying low so he can actually drive out of the break and create explosion with his cuts and lead that explosion to acceleration. That acceleration, fellas, is how we put the icing on the cake and get separation from the DB. There's really honestly three things you need to worry about on every single route. That's selling the route, whether that's like selling fade or selling with a release. That's creating energy and then using that energy to accelerate. Those are the three things that we need to worry about on every single route. And if I can master those, that DB should not have a chance. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Inniss, sliding outside, giving a move, but staying low so he could actually drive out of this break. Okay, so last example here we're going to look at is from Justin Jefferson. Now, when it comes to moves at the top of the route, right, when it comes to using a rocker step, a single cut, snapping down, you have to commit your upper body to the break to get that explosion and get that separation. So let's watch this full speed. Let's watch what he does here. He uses a rocker step, right? Attacks the inside shoulder, does that 1-2. That's a pretty explosive cut, and he's got a lot of speed to it. So let's talk about it. What a lot of guys will do. Like, let's say, for example, he's just running like a post route. Let's just say he's running a post first. Guys will start to cheat the route with their upper body, which takes away explosion from their cuts. So, like, let's say Justin Jefferson is breaking off of this cut right here on a post. What guys love to do, because they're not confident in cutting off of one leg, whether maybe they lack leg strength, maybe they lack knee or ankle stability, whatever it might be. But this right shoulder and this right hip will start to turn before they make the cut. So they'll be running at a DB, they'll be selling vertical, and then they start to turn. And some guys will even go to so much as to turn their head and start looking back for the ball because they want to locate the ball. That is probably the worst thing you can do for explosion at the top of the route. You have to commit your hips and your shoulders to either a fade or to either the side of the break. So when he does this rocker step, obviously he knows before he even makes this move that he's running an out route. So, like, very easily, he could just leave his hips and his shoulders here. You see so many wide receivers do that on a rocker step. If you feel your rocker step isn't explosive, this is probably the issue. They'll be running, they'll have a good first move, but when they go back to this second move, because what a rocker step is, for those of you that don't know, is that like 1-2 at the top of the break. Rather than just a single cut, it's like if you're breaking on an out route and you're on the left side, instead of just breaking off your right foot, you would go left, then right. So what guys will do is they'll break off the left foot, but they'll leave their shoulder and their hip here. You see how Jefferson, when he goes back to the inside, his hips and his shoulders also go back to the inside. Not only does that help selling the move, because the DB is probably watching your body language, that also helps you get a little bit more explosion out of the cut because your body goes with the cut. You want to make it look exactly like a post, exactly like an out if you're going the opposite way, to generate explosion, but to also sell the move. And guys will do this on routes where they snap down. Like, let's say Jefferson was going to be snapping down on this foot and dropping his hips and running like a curl, very similar to the last two examples we talked about. What guys will do is that they will start to turn. They will turn their shoulder, turn their hip, and they'll snap down, but their body's already out of it. That will lose explosion. That gives away the route. And when this foot is outside of your frame and your body's going that way, trust me, fellas, that's probably one of the best ways to injure yourself and hurt your knee, hurt your ankle, Achilles, whatever. Because your foot's outside your frame and you're moving with a lot of speed. So make sure, fellas, for explosive routes, let's commit that upper body to each break. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Jefferson, push and fade, using that rocker step to create space, and then winning on that 10-yard out. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. And if you guys want to improve your recovery after your workouts, check out that very first link below for A&G Labs recovery and protein powder supplement. I'll see you guys next time.